Hello everyone, welcome back to the Geek Plan, and welcome back to new content from me here on the channel. I know it's been a while, and I will explain why in another video, or a Twitter post, or a Discord post or something, and where I've been and what's been going on in my personal life. I'm not going to go into too much depth, just kind of give you an idea what's been going on, and why I haven't done anything, and why I didn't do anything for the month of October. As you can tell by the title, this is a Halloween Ends review / rant, but it's going to be more on the rant side than anything, because, spoiler, I fucking hated this movie very, very much. Multiple times during the movie, which I saw, I think the Thursday before opening night, like the, early screenings or whatever, and, multiple times during the movie, I looked over at my girlfriend and whispered, "This is really weird. What the fuck is happening? What's going on? This doesn't feel like Halloween," or "What the hell's happening?" or "What is this? What the hell is this crap?" So I get out of the movie, I go to the bathroom, get done, wash my hands, walk out. I'm still kind of not saying anything, and then I say, you know what? Fuck this movie. Just fuck this movie. And that's what I said. That was my first discussion about it. And yes, fuck this movie. Fuck Blumhouse. Fuck David Gordon Green, and fuck Danny McBride. You pissed all over the legacy of John Carpenter and Deborah Hill's characters from Halloween. Thanks a lot, you fucking hack pieces of shit. I really appreciate that. I love going into a Halloween movie and, coming out hating it very, very much, because I don't want to hate things. People always say, you guys always hate everything. We don't want to. I don't go in these movies expecting to hate them. I want to love it. I wanted to love this movie. But going into it, hearing some of the leaks, knowing what was going on, realizing Halloween Ends was a shitty-ass, or Halloween Kills was a shitty-ass movie after multiple viewings, I was really, really nervous, and my expectations were really, really low. And I still came out of this movie pissed off. And I will say to the people on the Facebook groups and the Twitter pages I've seen trying to defend this movie, bless your heart, because you can't do it. Y'all know this movie sucks. Everybody knows it's a piece of shit. You can like it. That's great. You can like it. It's still a shitty movie. It doesn't matter what you say. It's a bad movie. There are just bad movies. You can like bad movies. After this movie, I will tell you right now, I have a more appreciation for Halloween Resurrection, because at least Michael Myers is in that fucking movie. And it's about Michael Myers, and you feel his presence throughout the movie, even though it's still a shitty movie. Halloween Resurrection sucks. Halloween H2O is very mediocre, but it made me appreciate that more as well. Going back and watching Part 4, which I love, Part 5, not so much, made me appreciate that more. Yes, made me appreciate Part 6 more. I'm not going to say it made me appreciate the Rob Zombie movies, because those are just trash and garbage, and they don't even fit in this for me. I don't even include them in this shit, because they're just out there. They're not Michael Myers. He doesn't understand the characters. He wanted to do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, but he couldn't get the rights to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That was what he did. So fuck you, Rob Zombie, as well, for doing that. Again, this made me appreciate all the bad movies in this franchise. Go back and rewatch them. If you're one of the people who hated this movie, you're going to have much more appreciation for it, because it's still about Michael Myers. You get a Michael Myers movie. This is not a Michael Myers movie. This is not a end of saga, Laurie Strode and Michael Myers face off until the last 10 fucking minutes of the movie. No, we get to deal with Corey Cunningham.
How dare you stand where he stood?
A new character who's introduced, who accidentally kills the kid he's babysitting for in the beginning. We all know it was an accident. We saw it. The entire town fucking hates him, and we're supposed to feel sorry for him. They make us feel sorry for him. And then they make him the killer. He looks in Michael Myers' eyes, and he becomes the killer.
How about fuck you?
Apparently he gets COVID evil, or the evil AIDS inserted into him from just looking at Michael Myers. I don't know. Michael Myers isn't in this movie until 25 minutes into it, I think. 27 or 25 or something like that. That's how long it is before you see Michael Myers, then you don't see him again for a while after that.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
They go into Corey and Allison's fucking romance. Remember when I just told you that they wanted us to like Corey and feel sorry for him? After he stares into Michael Myers' eyes and becomes evil and actually kills somebody for the first time, we're not supposed to like him anymore. In the beginning, Laurie feels sorry for him, pushes Allison towards him, and then they get together. Then he sees Michael Myers' eyes and gets the infected evil. Then Laurie changes her mind. It's like, that's not the same person. You can tell when she looks at him. It's different, blah, 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 whatever. It's just a back and forth bullshit with this character. You don't come into an end of your saga with Michael Myers and Laurie Strode and do this. You don't bring in a new character that we don't give a fuck about, because I don't give a shit who you are. You don't want to see this piece of shit on screen anymore. You want him to go away so we can focus on Michael Myers and Laurie fucking Strode finishing their saga, their 40-plus-year-old saga. This is how it comes to an end. David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, everyone at Blumhouse, every single person who worked on this movie who hasn't said anything against this movie yet, you have pissed all over the Halloween legacy. So thank you, and fuck you for doing that.
Go fuck yourself!
I fucking hate you for doing what you did, because you're a pretentious hack prick motherfucker who tries to do some cool new nuance fucking evil transmits to somebody else bullshit in the final movie of your Michael Myers Laurie Strode saga. This is something that you start in 2018, make it a little bit better in kills, make it more in kills, and then bring it to a close in the third one. You don't start it at the beginning of the third fucking movie. What the fuck is wrong with you? I will tell you what's wrong with you. You are a no-talented fucking hack. I hope David Gordon Green never works in Hollywood again. I hope Danny McBride is blacklisted for what the fuck he just did. I really do. I'm not going to give David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, any more money. I'm not going to watch any more of their shit. I'm fucking done. Not doing it. And Blumhouse, you're really close to getting the same treatment, because you think you're like the horror fucking bastion of everything. Look what Terrifier 2 just did. I've not watched the movie yet. I'm going to do a review of it, but you're getting people who coming out of the woodworks who are not even that big of horror fans that are, you know, watching this gore fest and saying that it's actually a good horror film, and people are calling it the Dark Knight of horror because it's like a big, you know, really, really amazing sequel after a decent first movie, which I do think Batman Begins was an amazing movie, but I hope you all get where I'm coming from with this. You have a movie like that, not released in a lot of theaters, making money, that people are talking about it a lot more than Halloween Ends. How big of a joke is that? That you took a horror icon, and no one's talking about him now. Everybody's talking about Art the Clown. They're not talking about Michael Myers, who has been around for 40 plus years. They're talking about Art the Clown. You just made a movie that finished the Michael Myers, Laurie Strode saga, and people aren't talking about it in a positive way. They're trying to forget about it, and they're moving on to other things. Halloween Ends should have been so fucking good, we're still talking about it next year at this time. That's how good it should have been. But you didn't do that, because you don't know what you're doing. I think they had no idea what to do after Halloween Ends, because it should have ended after Halloween Ends. That would have made it a trilogy. Halloween 78, Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills. Could have been a trilogy like that, but you had to make another movie. You had to get your trilogy, even though it's not a trilogy, because you have to watch the first Halloween movie to know what the fuck's happening in 2018. It's not a trilogy. Why not end it after the second movie that you've made? So you technically have a trilogy. Because you get to the third movie and you don't know what to do. This movie is the result of them not knowing what the fuck to do with the closure of the Michael Myers Laurie Strode saga. They could have done a lot of things with it. There's a lot of channels out there. I've seen videos on how they talk about what they would have done, and I've heard a lot of really good stuff, because anything is better than this. You could make an hour-long movie, hour and 15 minutes movie, where it's him and her going back and forth. He's killing multiple people. She's getting hurt more and more and more. He gets his arm chopped off, and he's still coming after you. And it takes more than just her to get rid of him, but in the end, she's the last blow, to take him out. So let's get into Michael Myers and Laurie Strode at the end of this movie. I think it's like the last 10 minutes. He kills Corey after Corey's supposedly the new Michael Myers and goes on a killing spree. Kills all these kids that picked on in the beginning. Killed the radio DJ. Killed a doctor and a nurse with the help of Michael Myers. Killed some other people. And then he comes after Laurie Strode. She shoots him. He gets injured. Michael Myers comes in, strangles him, breaks his neck. He's dead, so we don't have Corey anymore. If you're thinking that evil continues to... What did she say? Evil never dies. Evil changes shape. I'm sure when David Gordon Green and Danny McBride wrote that line, their heads were so far up their ass that they thought it was the best thing they've ever done in their entire life. But you didn't do anything with it. You didn't do anything. It just tells us that eventually somebody else is going to do the same thing Michael Myers did, which, okay. What you could have done was have Corey still alive in the hospital at the very end, with this shit movie that you did. Evil never dies. It changes shape, and Corey's the next Michael Myers, and we never say anything about it, but they insinuate that. Instead, you kill him, and then Michael Myers and Laurie Strode have their little fight, and she kills him. She parades his corpse around town, takes him to a junkyard, dumps him in a grinder, and he becomes ground beef on a fucking shelf in a supermarket. That's what you do. So there's no evil changing shape. There's no shape to change. There's nothing. You're giving us nothing now. From your little pretentious line you put at the end of this movie, you give us nothing. So fuck you for that too. Let me go back to the end of Halloween Kills. Remember how Laurie says Michael transcends... The more he kills, the more he transcends. He's becoming more powerful.
I always thought Michael Myers was flesh and blood, just like you and me. But a mortal man could not have survived what he's lived through. The more he kills, the more he transcends into something else impossible to defeat. You can't defeat it with brute force.
The very end of Halloween Ends, we get the whole... Or Halloween Kills, we get the whole street mob going after him. They beat him, stab him, shoot him. And he gets up and just goes ham on those people. With no effort whatsoever. Just kills, maims, all of them. And then goes after Laurie's daughter, Karen. Kills her. So you're telling me that that same person, that same evil entity that is in the body of Michael Aubrey Myers, you're telling me that that dude got beat by a 70-year-old lady. You're telling me that he was defeated by a 70-year-old woman.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck right off. Fuck off.
Did you think we would forget about the end of Halloween Kills? Even though a lot of people probably watched Halloween Kills before they went and saw this movie to refresh what happened in the last movie. I mean, come on. What the hell are you doing?
What are you, fucking stupid?
I don't understand what you're doing. You have no idea what you're doing. That's why we got this movie, because you had no idea what the fuck you were doing. You expected us to forget that, or you forgot it, which, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the fucking case. There's not really a lot to talk about in plot in this movie because the plot's fucking garbage. The whole Corey Allison romance was so out of place. And again, it's in the middle of Halloween Ends. You're ending Michael Myers and Laurie Strode's saga. And we're focusing on Corey and Allison's romance. Good Lord, what are you doing? This movie is absolute shit. Just absolute garbage. In fact, this movie is so bad, it makes me look back at Halloween Resurrection, Halloween 5, Halloween 6, and say, you know what? Those movies were much better than this one. And yeah, they're not good either. But at least they have Michael Myers in them, and they focus on Michael Myers as the antagonist, and you still feel him. Protagonist, whatever. I always forget to get this mixed up. And you still feel Michael Myers' presence throughout the film. Speaking of that, I love the arguments people make that, well, Michael Myers was in Halloween Ends more than he was in John Carpenter's Halloween, the original. You just told me you don't understand that movie by saying that. By pointing that out, you don't understand that movie. You don't understand how that works. Because if Michael Myers is not on scene in the original Halloween film, you feel his presence every moment of that movie, even if he's on screen, or if it's another character, or other characters talking and having dialogue. You know he's there somewhere. You don't know where. You feel his presence throughout the entire film, so it feels like he's in the movie a lot longer than he actually is. This one you don't feel that, because you're so focused on other characters and another person who's doing the killing now that you're like, where the fuck is Michael Myers? You're thinking, where the fuck is Michael Myers? Not, I feel his presence all the time. You don't feel that. I mean, when you don't get Michael Myers until 25 plus minutes into the movie, you don't know what to think. Because for the intro and after that, you're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Like, am I watching a Halloween movie? Did I go to the wrong theater? what's happening, because there's no Michael Myers. They talk about the town with Michael Myers, and after he killed Karen and he was gone, and how it affected the town, blah, blah, blah. That's great. That you can still do that. Still do all that without the Corey stuff. Have that as your beginning. Do that first. Don't give me this new character in the third film of your saga that you're trying to wrap up. You wrote 2018, it was successful, they greenlit sequels. So you're like, oh shit, what we're supposed to do? And then you write Halloween Kills, which is way better than this, but still not good. And then you write this movie, you don't know what to do. You just don't understand what to do. At the end of Halloween Kills, it should have been the end of the saga. It should have been done. That's it. It should have been, we should have cut out a lot of that crap in Halloween Kills and had their face off at the very end and make it to the point where she's coming after him while there's 20 other people ganging up after him and she gets the final blow or something like that. Because we know it ain't going to take one person and take him down. We knew that. But for some reason, David Gordon Green's like, you know what? Maybe they'll forget that he got, shot, stabbed, and beaten by a mob and got up and then killed everybody. And like it was nothing. And we'll just have it where he gets beaten by a 70-year-old woman in a kitchen. Is that cool? You think they'll like that? No. David Gordon Green, we don't like that. You fucked up. You fucked up big time. Thanks for fucking up the Halloween franchise. You just Rob Zombie this motherfucker. You decided, let's see, can I repeat what Rob Zombie did with Halloween 2 and take this franchise and drive it into the fucking ground? Because that's what you did. Now when they announce another Halloween movie, which they will, it won't be written by these fucking idiots, but it'll still be with Blumhouse, and it'll be a reboot, a full reimagining, or something like that. I don't give a shit about it anymore. I'm to the point where I don't care. I don't care what you do. I'll probably watch it if somebody tells me it's good. I'll pirate it. I sure as fuck ain't going to pay for it. Because of what you did with this, I don't ever think you're going to come to the table with a good Halloween film now. I hope Blumhouse loses the rights down the road because you don't deserve them after this. And Blumhouse needs to stop having horror franchises in their wheelhouse, because eventually they're going to become the Disney of horror. They're going to buy up other franchises. It's going to happen. There were rumblings before the Friday the 13th lawsuit was done that they were trying to get the rights to that to whoever made the decision and whoever had the rights at the end. And they're probably still going to fucking try. Pray to God that doesn't happen. Let somebody else get in there. We all know they're going to fuck that up too. Somebody's going to fuck that up too. It's Friday the 13th and Halloween. They're slasher franchises. They're not hard to write films for. They're not hard to do. They're so easy to write. Just write basic shit, just like all the other ones were. That's what you do. Just give it a little bit more intrigue nowadays, but just make it as simple as those old films were.
Keep it simple, stupid. Great advice. Hurts my feelings every time.
You don't need to take these big, giant galaxy brain ideas and be like, you know what? I can make this really in-depth, really meaningful Halloween movie. It's a Halloween. It's Halloween. It's a slasher film. You're not writing for an Oscar. You're not going to get an Oscar. You can't write or direct worth a fuck. You're never going to get an Oscar, David Gordon Green. It's not going to happen. This is a Halloween franchise. It's a slasher film. It's not hard. I just can't believe they fucked up a slasher film. Again, thinking it and overthinking it again, that's the issue here with all of this shit. That's why they fuck it up so much, because they overthink it into the ground. So way to go, Blumhouse, David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, and every other person who worked on this film. You've fucked up the Halloween franchise to the point where nobody gives a shit anymore. You have the people in these fringe groups on Facebook and Twitter who are going to cling to this being a good movie as long as they can, but they will eventually change their tune like everybody has for Halloween by Rob Zombie. Because you had people defending that back then. I had friends who defended that years ago. They ain't defending it anymore. I mean, they might now because of this movie. But the Rob Zombie films are still under all of it. I'd still watch Ends over the Rob Zombie movies because I think they're just garbage and they're a fucking slide on the franchise. But this belongs with them. All three of those movies can go into the fucking ground and never come out. I'll watch all the other Halloween films like I did this year on Halloween and enjoy them for what they are, even the shitty ones. Because even though this is a Halloween film that some people like, and it's a newer Halloween film, I'd still rather watch Busta Rhymes karate kick Michael fucking Myers and say,
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
That's where we are with Halloween Ends. So, as you can tell, I did not like this movie. It's a pile of shit. A giant, giant pile of shit.
That is one big pile of shit.
And I will give it a 0 out of 10. No, I'm actually going to give it probably a 2 out of 10. That's where my score is. That's where it's going to stay. I think I started with a 4 out of 10, and then I went to 3, and now it's a 2 out of 10, and that's being generous. So we're going to go with a 2 out of 10 for Halloween Ends. Thank you all for listening to this little rant here that I made. And thank you all for being subscribers still and staying subscribed to the channel. While I haven't put out content for a while, I do very much appreciate that. And to anyone here that is watching this or listening to this, and you're new to the channel and you do like this, I'd appreciate you hit that subscribe button and the like button. You know, I might not put out another video for a little while, but I'm still going to put out content. I've had multiple people message me and ask me if the channel is going to be dead or if I'm going to delete the channel or if I'm going to stop doing it. No, I've just got some stuff going on and I will be back with it. Thank you all for being patient. And again, I appreciate it very, very much. Also, leave a comment below and let me know what you thought about this movie. I really want to hear from you all. I've talked to some of you guys on Twitter and on Instagram, instant message or direct messages and on Discord messages. So I know what some of you guys think about it, but I want to know what everybody thinks about this movie. I know most people probably fucking hate it. But anyway, thank you guys for listening to this video and listening to me rant about this shitty fucking movie in the Halloween franchise that is Halloween Ends. And David Gordon Green, everybody at Blumhouse, thank you for pissing all over the Halloween franchise. And thank you for giving Jamie Lee Curtis the worst exit to a franchise that ever could have been done. I'm sure eventually she's going to realize how bad this was. To be honest, she probably doesn't give a fuck. She got paid for it, so she probably doesn't care as much. But yeah, they really, really did her a disservice with this movie. So anyway, leave a like on the video. It really does help us out. Like I said, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. Also, please hit the bell for notifications. That way, when I do finally upload a new video, with my schedule being all over the place, you will know that I uploaded it. Also, links in the description for like Discord, which I will post on there when I release the video, and also Twitter is where I'm most active, so follow me on Twitter. When I release the video, you'll see it on there if you don't have notifications turned on, or for some reason, notifications get turned off, because that's happened to me on a few channels lately where I'm not getting their content, and I'll check, and notifications aren't turned on for some reason, even though I know they were. I appreciate if you guys check to make sure, if you're a subscriber already, if your notifications are still on, if you didn't see this video when I first released it. Thank you guys again for watching / listening to this rant. I'm Jeff. This is the Geek Blend, and remember, if you geek about it, we speak about it. I will see you guys next time. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Y'all take care. Bye.